an epic result here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Six
That's one way to
hits.
describe it.
I bet it's the length of some full albums because there's some longer songs on it.
Did we get to did we get to 30 minutes on it?
We got to 29 minutes and 57 seconds.
Are you kidding me? Favorite song? I would probably either say Howl at Luna or Clergy Song. Howl at Luna because of I just love how winding the song is, how it goes through all the different parts and things.
I'd have to say it's a tie between probably Clergy or Howl, I'd say. I think with Howl, it's just the way it turned out is so cool. I think for how grand it is, it's just so, for how ambitious it is, excuse me.
That's right.
Not grand. How ambitious it is and how, much there is to it. It turned out really well.
To both play a solo at the same time, but we were both skeptical of how that would work. But and the way it worked out is, if you could tell, Trent's solo was under a clean patch and mine was under a distorted patch.
If you were to play two solos that I guess weren't coordinated to each other, it would just sound real messy and disorganized.
Right.
But I think the dissonance between the clean and the dirty gives it enough separation that you don't hear the disorganization more than you hear the difference between the two solos entirely, if that makes sense.
The orchestral part was all done by Will, and I believe Braden too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Writing wise as well.
Was that the demo that was originally referred to as marching band?
It was, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It was referred to as marching band.
No, I mean, Howl at Luna is a pretty amazing opening statement. So it's, I guess maybe that is the obvious thing. But I mean, I've listened to it now a few times, on speakers, on good headphones, and that affords me the opportunity to just pick out different details. I'm still hearing things.
I have to say Losers and Suckers because I actually talked to Will about this right after I listened to the full mastered versions. I think that my favorite part was the fact that it worked so well with Alex's vocals, because it was very specifically written for him, it seemed. And
Cool.
I just liked how the entire song meshed together.
But my favorite song on the record is probably, I'd say Losers and Suckers, but maybe Howl. I don't know. One of those two.
Sure.
I liked 17 because to me it had a very, I guess, positive vibe to it overall. A very, I don't want to say happy sounding song, but it had a nice vibe to it.
I think the piano was me, but Braden did a lot of the guitar on that song. He did I think 2 parts, and then Trent had a solo, and Ellis did some guitar parts.
I think 17 is a really fun tune. It brings a lot of levity kind of to the feel of the project.
It's the catchiest song.
Yeah, it's a really nice tune to sit right in the middle of the album.
Illborn was the more rockin', hard rock version of the catchy 17. I think those are kind of twin, not really twin, but sister tracks.
They sit really well.
Cool Song and Cooler Song.
Yeah, Cool Song and Cooler Song.
They sit really well in the middle of the album.
Well, I'll let me pull up the Google Drive folder now.
Yeah.
I think that the first song that we had, majorly done. Now I don't know when Alex or Ellis wrote their stuff, but the first song that we had, in the Google Drive folder recorded and stuff, was an early version of Illborn Usurper that we called, I think it was called Cool Song.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, I knew.
Forgot about that.
That was me. I forgot about
Cool
that.
song that wave.
Cool Song Wave, yeah.
Yeah, that was the earliest one.
Forgot about that.
I think it was definitely a culmination of bringing in material that we had previously and like writing along the way. Because like a lot of the stuff I brought to the table was kind of written as the meetings were going on, you know what I mean?
I wrote Woodlands. I know the first part, I wrote the intro chord progression, I wrote right after the first interview ended. And I just picked up a guitar and wrote like that chord progression. I never used an acoustic, I just used a clean patch. And yeah, some obviously a reverb and delay patch for the spacey part. Originally, I had 2 song ideas, but we were already having like all the other song ideas were coming in, so I decided to just like connect those 2 together and make one the outro to the other.
I recorded like the narration part first, and then I reversed it. So then I have the reverse part, and I listened back to it, and I recorded the sound of the reverse part again. So I spoke the reverse part, and then I reversed that part.
And then Woodlands, I very much enjoyed writing and playing solo for that one.
I think that I just like Clergy song because, you know, it's a very epic song. I had a very fun time recording the solos to it. And
within Clergy, I mean, was that Will who wrote that, right?
It was me and Braden. So like part of it Braden wrote, like actually I can, like the part that's like that part, that was Braden.
I wrote that probably a year ago.
Yeah, like that was probably the second thing that got put in the drive. And I think that Clergy song might have been the first song finished.
One thing I love about your vocal, I guess, arrangements, Alex, the way you record, and I noticed this too with the previous songwriting band, is I like how you sometimes have counterpoint vocals. Like they're not just harmonies, but like counterpoint, almost call and response vocals,
Yeah.
or like, you know, complementary, as if they were sung by 2 different singers.
Right.
But I think that's a very cool, very thoughtful touch that I think, you know, seems to be one of your signatures. Yeah.
one thing, it's more of like a musical Easter egg on my part, is that I used I probably said this to the group chat, is that I used a musical motif in 2 of my solos. The first one being at the beginning of the Losers and Suckers solo, and then I used it again at the ending of the outro solo in Clergy song.